Aparna, what happened, Aparna? So happy today? Aparna, tell me, what is the reason
Yes, sir.
for happiness? You cooked something in home?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. Someone is too happy today. Okay, so always be happy. All right. So today, listen carefully. So in the morning session, we discussed about the aspects that related with the short run production. Short run production. What is the specialty of short run production? What is the specialty of short run production? How can we dictate a short run production and a long run production on the basis of the variable use? I mean the inputs use, used there. So we know that in the short run production we are able to find the change in one input, change in one put. The same time other input will remain constant. Other input will remain a constant. Okay, but in connection with the long run production, we know that all the inputs will change related with the output. Okay, or related with the production, all the inputs will change. This is the basic method to find out is it a long run production or a short run production. Short run production. So keep that idea in your mind. So before or the beginning of this session, I mean discussion of this chapter, we discussed a number of aspects. Can you see the screen now? Hello? Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So I'm taking you for the discussion on products. Okay. Marginal product, average products. Clear. So for explaining some long run cost, we want to just understand this factor one more time, time there. So products, clear or not? So total product, we know that. Total product, we know that. We are allotting or deploying all the inputs to produce the product. Okay, the total value. Okay, so total product, it is basically we can see that it is constant. So variable input and output keeping all other inputs constant. We often refer to the total product. Total product. So in the short run and long run, you know the difference between. Next one, this is also sometimes called as the total return or total physical product. Okay, the total product is sometimes we can use the term total return or total physical product. Just keep this word in your mind. What is that? Total return or total physical product. So we studied how to calculate the average product. So average product for labor. So here it is labor because labor is the input that is changing. So average product for labor is equal to total product for labor divided by the labor. So this table. So we know that one, it is changing here, capital is changing. Okay, so both rows and columns indicating the changes in the capital and the change in the labor. Okay, so we know that the zero factor of production, if labor is zero, the capital is changing also, production is not possible. The same time, here it is, labor is increasing, but the capital remain as zero, there is no production possible. We know that both factors of production or both input want to participate in the production function. Then only output is available. Or else there is no chance to create the output. So we discussed again marginal product. So marginal product, we know that is always indicating with the symbol delta, because we are able to find the change here. Okay, so marginal product for labor is equal to change in the output divided by the change in the input. So delta TPL divided by delta L. Okay, so delta TPL means total product for the labor divided by the number of labor deployed or utilized. Utilized to produce the products. Okay, next one, law of diminishing marginal product. We studied that, right or not? Diminishing marginal product. Remembering that idea? Diminishing marginal product. Okay, so this equation also, just keep that in your mind. What is that? MPL, marginal product for labor, is equal to TP at L units, total product for L units. Here, for example, like take 2. Okay, TP, total product for L units, it is a 24. Okay, L unit is 2 minus TP at L minus 1 units. Okay, total product is TP L minus 1 unit. It is 10. It is a 10. So changes in the labor is 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So we got 24 minus 14. 24 minus 14. Okay. right or not? Then we got 10 here, we got 10 here. Okay, so we want to use that digits in the equation. 24 minus 10 is equal to 14. Changes in the labor, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So 14 divided by 1 is equal to 14. So this equation, okay, application, just to keep that in your mind. Okay, we need that for the further explanation. Okay, next one we discussed about return of scales, there. So return of scale, basically it is constant. Okay, so the product is almost equal to the input what we use. The output is almost equal to the input what we use. So both proportion is almost same. We can say that it is called to be CRS. CRS, constant returns to scale. Constant returns to scale. So product is basically termed as return to scale. So comparing with the proportion of the input, the proportion of the output is also increasing. We can say that it is called to be CRS. What is that? Constant returns to scale. Constant returns to scale, right? Yes. Yes, no doubt in that. Next one, IRS. Okay, increasing return to scale. Increasing returns to scale, which means we are increasing the input. Proportionate to that, a double increase we are able to find in the products or in the return. That time we can say that increasing returns to scale. Increasing returns to scale, right? Yes, I declare, right? No doubt in that. Next one, decreasing returns to scale. Decreasing returns to scale, which means, okay, we can denote with the DRS. DRS. Okay, as per the proportion of the input, output is not increasing. Output is not increasing. So we are able to find a less increase in the output, or it is not increasing as per the proportion of the input. So that is called to be DRS. So everyone, just keep these words in your mind. What is that? Constant returns to scale, CRS. Increasing returns to scale, IRS. Decreasing returns to scale, that is a DRS. DRS. Okay, so we are moving forward to discuss production and costs in the long run. Before that, one homework is there for you people. Okay, already some people completed that. The people those who not completed, so that table should be applied here. Okay, page number 47. Page number 47. If you are applying the table and this digit, okay, you are easy to find out how this graph is constructed. Okay, how this graph is constructed. So it's a homework. Okay, it's a homework for the people those already completed that, and it's a punishment for the people those who not completed the homework. Okay, want to do that properly. I want to see in the next class. Next one, coming to the page number 48. Also, you will find another one graph with the representation of SMC. Okay, short time marginal cost, SAC short range average cost, and AVC average cost. Clear or not? Okay, so perfectly how this graphs, how this curves formed. Okay, apply all that digits in this equation and find out here. Okay, so that's a homework for you people, just to observe this clearly and carefully. Okay, so we know that in the short run production, one input is fixed. The next one, the other input is a variable. It is changing. It is changing. One is constant, other is changing. So what is the specialty of long run production? Can anyone tell me what is the specialty of long run production?
All variables are changed.
All inputs will change. Okay, clear or not? If you want to improve the production in a long run production, we want to make changes in the input. Want to increase the input to increase the output. Want to increase the input to increase the output. Simple logic. Okay, if you want to increase the output, definitely we want to increase the input. So that's what long run cost. Both the inputs will change. Okay, here both means capital and labor. So here it is. In the long run, all inputs are variable. That's the first and foremost point for we people. What is that? In long run, all the inputs are variable. But in the short run, one is variable, other is constant. Here, there are no fixed cost. There is no fixed cost. So we don't want to find out a total fixed cost. No TFC here. Clear or not? Fixed cost is not applicable. Only what is there? TVC is there. Total variable cost is there. Total variable cost is there in the long run. Okay. But in the short run, we are able to find both the TFC and TVC. TFC and TVC, which means total fixed cost is there and total variable cost also is there. Okay. But here, in the long run production, only TVC, total variable cost, is applicable. Okay. So the total cost and the total variable cost, therefore, coincide in the long run. Long run average cost. Long run average cost. What is that? LRAC. Long run average cost. Okay. LRAC is always equal to total cost divided by the quantity. Okay. Total cost divided by quantity. Any doubt in that? Easy to understand, right? No confusion here. What is that? Okay, long run, LR, long run average cost is equal to total cost divided by the quantity. Total cost divided by the quantity. Here is, there is no chance to find out what total fixed cost. There is no total fixed cost is available for you people because it is long run production. Long run production. Okay, so come back. Long run marginal cost. Okay, marginal cost. First of all, AC, average cost. Okay, LR, long run average cost. Okay, next one, LR, MC, marginal cost. Long run marginal cost. Okay, so marginal cost means you got that. What are the points? What are the point? Variable changed. I mean, input changed, input increased, input increased. So already I told, just now I told one equation related with the product there. The same equation is applicable here. Okay, but not product, but the cost, Okay, so long run marginal cost, LRMC, is the change in total cost per unit. Okay, we are able to find the change in the addition of extra unit. So the change in total cost per unit of change in output. When output changes in discrete units, independent units, then if we increase production from quantity 1 minus 1 to quantity 1 minus 1 to 1, clear? Q1 minus 1 to Q1 quantity units of output. The marginal cost of production Q1 or Q1 the unit will be measured as LRMC. Long run marginal cost is equal to total cost at Q1 units, okay, minus total cost at Q1 units minus 1 unit, That's what that table shows to us. The table, here it is, right? This one, right? So that is related with the product. You got that idea, right? The same application is here related with the cost, here, right? Any doubt? Tell me first. Aditya, no doubt. Okay, the same application is here. Okay, so moving forward, we can see just like the short run in the long run, the same of all marginal cost up to some output level gives us the total cost at that level. So marginal cost, what is your answer? It will decrease or increase. For extra addition of inputs, marginal cost will decrease or increase. Tell me. Addition. Marginal cost will decrease or increase. So you can see this graph and you can simply say the answer. It will decrease or increase. Pardon?
Increase.
Okay. Up to a level, right? Okay, up to a level. That's what the answer for us. Okay, next one we are going to discuss here. Shapes of long run cost curves. Okay, so long run cost curve we want to discuss only LRMC. Okay, what is that? Long run marginal cost curve and LRAC, long run average cost. Okay, so it is strictly connected. Basically, you can say that inversely connected. Okay, so here you can see here, right? Related with the outputs. Okay, here marginal product L and average product L. So this graph, okay, so if you are just flip this graph we will come towards the cost graph. Cost graph. See here. See here, the same one, right? Yes or no? The same one. Okay. One is inverse U shape. This one it is a. This one is a inverse one. That one is a accurate. Right or not? Product curve. Check that again in your textbook. Okay, come back. Coming to the long run cost, this LRMC and LRAC, that is, you can find a U-shaped curve, or both are U-shaped curves. But in the case of product, it is a inverse. Okay, so we have previously discussed the return to scales. What are they? IRS, DRS, and CRS. IRS, CRS, and DRS. Okay. Increasing return to scale, constant return to scale, decreasing returns to scale. So that we are going to apply in this long run production. So IRS implies that if we increase all the inputs by the certain proportion, output increases by more than that proportion. No doubt in that, right? So if you are increasing the inputs into a particular proportion, definitely we are find IR, the return also more than that proportion, or a product also more than that proportion. So we are using the term here, what is that? IRS, increasing return to scale, increasing returns to scale. Clear or not? If you are adding 2 inputs, we will get 4 outputs. Maximum time we can say that double of the input. Okay. So relative to the proportion of the input, the output is higher. Okay, more than that proportion. In other words, to increase output by a certain proportion. Okay, so increase output by a certain proportion, inputs need to be increased by less than that proportion. So you want to get a correct proportion or accurate proportion. Okay, comparing with that proportion of the output, we want to use less input. Okay, so less than that proportion. Just underline this area. Otherwise, to increase output by a certain proportion, inputs need to be increased by less than that proportion, less than the proportion of the output. That's what. Okay, less than the proportion of the output. Clear or not? Any doubt? Is that idea clear or not? Nothing but just a twisted sentence it is. IRS. What is IRS? Okay. Increasing returns to scale. Okay, so here you can see this sentence says IRS implies that if we increase all the inputs, because it's a long run production, all the inputs by a certain proportion, output increase by more than that the proportion. Okay, output will increase more than the proportion of the input. That's what. Clear? Okay, then what the second sentence says to us, in other words, to increase output by a certain proportion. If you want to increase the output for a certain proportion, inputs need to be increased by less than that proportion. Okay, inputs need to be increased by less than that proportion. So we want to increase the output less than the proportion of the output. That's what. Okay, clear or not?
So can you tell it with an example?
Okay, for example, we know that, what is that? If you are using 2 inputs to produce 2 output. Okay, input is 2 is equal to 2. Clear or not? 2 input, 2 output. Clear or not? Okay, then our idea, our X and concept is, our plan is, we are using 2 input, but you want to get 4 output. That's what. Okay. So to create 4 output, we just want to use 2 inputs only. Clear or not? 2 inputs only we want to use. That's what our plan. We want to reduce the cost of production to increase the product, to maximize the profit. So that is the idea. Okay. To get 4 output, we just want to use a 2 input. That's idea will be there, all right? So the firm will reduce the cost of production, by using different techniques, clear or not? To produce 4 units, the company or the firm will spend 2 input, clear? The first case it is constant, second case it is IRS. So if it happen like this, 2 units used, but only 1 got back. That time we can say it is a DRS situation. Clear or not? Decreasing returns to scale. Okay, as per the proportion, so related with the proportion of the input, there is no output. There is no output related with that particular proportion. Clear? Is that idea clear now? Now is that IRS, CRS and DRS is clear, right? Okay. So that's it. That's what here we discussed about the IRS. Okay. So inputs need to be increased by less than the proportion. With the input prices given, cost also increases by lesser proportion. So comparing with the input, the cost also increases by lesser proportion. So we know that if you want to utilize these inputs, we have to pay for it. It is compulsory. If you are increasing labor, we want to pay for the labor in form of wages, right or not? So labor, what is the remuneration for labor? It is wages. If you want to utilize labor, we have to pay for them. So remember, all we people are producers now. So think like that. Okay. For example, suppose we want to double the output. To do that, inputs need to be increased. If you want to double the output, definitely we want to increase the input. Clear or not? So from an agricultural land, we are employing only one labor. So limitations are there with that labor. Okay, limitations are there. If he is utilizing all the other factors of production also, he is unable to produce more from that land. Clear? Because he's not reached the maximum level of his productivity. He's unable to reach because limitations are with this labor. Okay. Again, if you are adding one more extra labor with that existing one labor, these 2 labors together can increase the output, right or not? So land is there, all other amenities are there, all other factors of production are available. So definitely extra labor can increase the output. But if you are the organizer, we want to pay extra wages to the additional labor, right? Right or not? Extra wages you want to pay or not? Of course we have to pay. Okay, that's the idea there. Okay, just to keep that in your mind. So the cost of production will increase. Okay, cost of production will increase because we have to pay more for the additional use of labor. To do that, inputs need to be increased, but less than double. The cost that the firm incur to hire those inputs, therefore, also need to be increased by less than double. With this happens to the average cost here. So it must be the case of the case that as long as IRS operates, average cost falls as the firm increases output. So this is the relation. Underline here. What is that? It must be the case that as long as IRS operates, okay, increasing returns to scale operates, average cost falls as the firm increase outputs. Okay, average cost will fall down. Because we are increasing the input, right? So number is increasing. Okay, inputs number is increasing. So definitely we know that mathematically speaking, so the numbers are increasing, definitely average will fall down. Right? No doubt in that. Okay, already we studied, or we are going to study in statistics, that mean, median, mode. Okay, so here it is. So here in this case, it must be the case that as long as IRS operate, the situation is existing. Which situation? IRS, increasing returns to scale. So we know that if you want to increase the production, definitely we want to increase the input. So average cost will fall. No doubt in that. Average cost will fall. Okay. Next one, DRS. Which condition is this? DRS, decreasing returns to scale. It implies that if we want to increase the output by a certain proportion, inputs need to be increased by more than the proportion. As a result, cost also increases by more than the proportion. So as long as DRS operates, the average cost must be rising as the firm increases output. So DRS, we know that decreasing returns to scale, just opposite to IRS. Okay, so we are using input, but as per the proportion of the input, we are unable to create the output. That situation is considered as DRS, decreasing returns to scale. Decreasing returns to scale. Clear? So, if a DRS operates, the average cost must be rising as the firm increases output. Firm increases output. So, just opposite to IRS. In IRS condition, okay, increasing rate to return to scale operates. What happened? Average cost falls as the firm increases the output. Firm increases the output. But coming to DRS, the average cost must be rising. It should rise. Okay. As the firm increases output. Increases output. Clear? Just opposite to IRS. DRS is a condition that is just opposite to the IRS. IRS. Clear? Clear? Tell me, Ashirya.
In DRS, the firm must decrease the output rate.
Output is decreasing as per the proportion of the input. We cannot say that it is decreasing like anything. Okay, as per the proportion of the input, output is not increasing. That's it. That is the idea here, right? As per the proportion of the input, output proportion is not increasing. That's what. Okay, it doesn't mean that output is not increasing. Clear? Clear or not? Okay. Next one, CRS. What is CRS? Constant returns to scale. Constant returns to scale. So we know that average cost also will be, and it should be constant, right? So IRS situation, it is fall. Okay, it will fall here. IRS, average cost falls, and DRS, average cost is rising, and CRS, if you know, we are using our common sense, we know that it is constant. It is a constant. It will not go to, or it will not change. It will not change. So CRS implies a proportional increase in inputs, resulting in the proportional increase in the output. So both proportion is almost same. So it is okay. Average cost remain constant. So average cost remain constant. Good or not? That's what I discussed with the previous portion. We started with the previous portion related with the product. The same application is here. Right? Clear? No doubt, right? Okay. So CRS operates. It is argued that in a typical firm means a company here, right? Or a production unit here. Typical firm, IRS is observed at the initial level of production. This is then followed by CRS and by DRS. Okay, if a firm operates or a company operates, its returns in first initial stage, we can say it is IRS, increasing returns to scale. So if you started a company, in the beginning stage, always the company will run with, for a long run, it will produce always IRS, increasing returns to scale. You will get a good result. Okay, in the initial stage. Okay, after that, it will go to a situation called as CRS, constant returns to scale. Okay, so both the proportion are same. The proportion of the input and the output both are same. That situation is called to be CRS. So in the beginning period or beginning stage, we can say that IRS will operate. Later, it will move towards CRS, constant returns to scale. Later, what will happen there? And it's downward. Later, what will happen? The firm will face the problem of DRS, decreasing returns to scale. Because it's already achieved the maximum equilibrium, right? After that, what will happen? They will face the problem of DRS, decreasing returns to scale. Okay, accordingly, the LRAC, long run average cost curve, is a U-shaped curve. Here it is. Okay, what is that? LRAC curve here. LRAC. That's a U-shaped curve, right? Its downward sloping part corresponding to IRS. Downward sloping, this is IRS. Because IRS is there, we know that average cost will move down, right? Okay. Next case, underline that area. Let us check how the LRMC curve look like for the first unit of output, both LRMC and LRAC. Okay, long run marginal cost and long run average cost are the same, clear? Then as output increases, LRAC initially falls, and then long run average cost initially falls. You can see here, initially it will fall, later it will increase, clear? In the first, you can see the point M here, point M. Up to there, it is decreasing. After that, it is increasing. Right? Observe that. So, reading here again, accordingly, the LRAC curve is a U-shaped curve. So, this curve is a U-shaped curve. Okay, its downward sloping part corresponds in the IRS. So, this part is IRS, downward sloping. And upward rising part corresponding DRS. Upward part is a DRS. DRS situation, average cost will increase. And in IRS, average cost will decrease. DRS, it will increase. Okay. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Next one. At the minimum point in the LRAC curve, CRS observed. So what is the minimum point here? This point, M is the minimum point. So this is what? CRS. And this side it is a DRS. And here it is a IRS. Are you able to see the screen properly? Can you see the screen properly?
Yes, sir.
The ratings are visible?
Yes, sir.
Are visible? Okay, fine. So this is the LRAC curve in which this side decreasing part is IRS, increasing part is DRS. Average cost increasing part is DRS. The minimum, the lowest point is called to be CRS, constant returns to scale. Constant returns to scale. Okay. Okay. Let us check how the LRMC curve look like. Okay, this is what the LRMC, long run marginal cost curve, How it will look like? That also a U-shaped curve only, Okay, so here you can see, let us check how the LRMC curve look like for the first unit of output. Both LRMC and the LRAC are the same. Then as output increases, LRAC initially falls, and then after a certain point it rises. As long as average cost is falling, marginal cost must be less than the average cost. When the average cost is rising, marginal cost must be greater than the average cost. You can observe here. Okay, marginal cost must be rising. LRMC curve is therefore a U-shaped curve. This cuts the LRAC curve from below at the minimum point of the LRAC. That is the point M here. Point M. Okay, both will touch and will intersect. Okay, that point is called to be the M. Okay. So figure 3.9 shows that shape of the long run marginal cost and the long run average cost curves for the typical frame. LRAC reaches its minimum at Q1. Of the left of the Q1, LRAC is falling and LRMC is less than the LRAC curve. Okay, here LRAC curve is higher than the LRMC curve. Left to Q1. LRMC curve is just below the LRAC curve. Coming to right side, what is that? LRMC curve is higher than the LRAC curve. Okay, remembering that what we studied in the graph related with the production, marginal product and average product, studied or not? The same application is here. Okay, but it is an original U-shaped, clear or U-shaped, that is an inverse U-shape. That's the difference. That is the difference. Okay, so LRAC is falling and LRMC is less than the LRAC curve. To the right of Q1, LRAC, long run average cost is rising and a long run marginal cost is falling. Okay, sorry. It is rising here. LRMC is rising. Right side. Okay. LRMC is higher. LRAC is lower. Long run marginal cost is higher. Long run average cost is lower. Okay. Is that idea clear? Okay. So this chapter is completed. All the topics in this chapter is discussed in the classroom. Okay, today I will upload the notes. The same time, the homework also want to complete. If any doubts are there, means we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so next class is considering as the class that we are going to wind up this entire chapter. Clear? Clear. Okay, so complete the task in time. Remember, your project is pending. Complete that also in time. Any doubts are there, means you can call me or you can text me. Okay, so read the textbook thoroughly one more time. So these words are too important for you people, like IRS, DRS and CRS, and learn the relation between these things properly. Okay, relation between the input and the output, and all the formulas and equations from this chapter. That is too important for you people. Applications are there in the next chapters. So take care. Okay guys, bye. We will meet in the next class.